man must ride alone. Live or die, he must ride alone.
Way to Judge Allen's house.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
I'm Major Drango. This is Captain Banning. We'd like to see Judge Allen if he'll receive us.
Would you be good enough to step inside? I'm Clay Allen, the judge's son. I'll take you to him. We have visitors, Major Drango and Captain Banning, the Union Army.
We've been expecting you, Major. You must be tired after your journey. Perhaps we can get you a brandy.
I'm sorry there's nothing like that left in the house.
My apologies. We used to keep an excellent cellar.
These are my orders, sir. Please read them at your leisure. You want everything to go as well as possible.
Aren't you assuming a great deal?
I'm afraid there isn't any choice, Mother. You've got to understand that these men rule us now.
We don't want to rule anybody.
Well, you're a military governor, aren't you?
Technically, yes.
Aren't those official papers giving you the power to do what you like with our town? With all of us?
We came here to help.
Forgive me, Major, if I don't believe you. Union soldiers have been here before, 9 months ago. General Sherman's army. They made certain we'd never forget them.
I understand, Mrs. Allen. You're the leader of this community, Judge. Nothing can be done without your cooperation. Will you work with us?
This town was laid out almost 100 years ago, Major. My grandfather helped build it. There was a meaning to our lives then. Now, we just want to be left alone.
We won't intrude any further. Good day, ma'am. Good day, Judge.
Good day.
Good day, gentlemen.
Oh, Major, a word of warning. Our people won't live under a military governor. If you stay, they'll kill you.
Sure make a man feel at home. Think they know you?
Let's go.
Second floor, into the hall.
Stay where you are and keep your hands up high. wasn't going to use the gun. I just wanted to make sure it was you.
Who are you?
Name's Calder. I've been hiding here waiting for you. I've been loyal to the Union for 4 years. I've been beaten for it, shot at.
Well, that's done with now.
No, not in this town, or many others either. There's soldiers here, back from the army, are ready to kill anyone who doesn't believe like they do. They came for me 2 nights ago.
Where?
My place. About a mile down the valley road. I got away only because I got a daughter can fire a gun.
You recognize him?
No. I killed one of them, though. Now they'll hunt me down for sure. Take me to Fort Dalton.
You killed a man here. It's got to be settled here.
It's my life you're talking about.
I think you should stand trial here, Mr. Calder. You killed in self-defense. No jury can convict you for that.
I wouldn't have a chance. You've seen the faces of the people of this town. They hate you and everything you stand for. They'll fight you in all the little ways that eat a man's guts out. I know.
You've taken it for 4 years. Why?
I was born here. This is my home.
Well, that's why I want you to stay. You're a strong man, and you'd have run a long time ago. We need men like you to help rebuild Kennesaw.
Well, they don't intend to rebuild anything. They're not interested in law and order. All they want is revenge.
He's right, Clint. These people have got to be whipped into line.
I've seen enough killing. We've got to make the law count again. I'm taking you in, Mr. Calder. Your word to his daughter. Have Judge Allen come to the courthouse. Will you give him a fair trial? Can't deny his right to defend his life and his home.
I've lived by the law all my life, and I'll not use it to harbor a man who turned his back on his own people.
He wants me to stand trial, Kate, here.
Why don't you just put him up against the wall and shoot him now? Please, please, Father, I'll go to Dalton myself.
Will you conduct the trial?
I'll have to.
And do you think you can find 12 fair men in this town?
If I don't, there'll be no trial.
On your word?
What does his word mean?
Maybe he's right. We've never run away from anything, have we, Kate?
No.
We meet under strange conditions. Conditions that make understanding on both sides vitally important. Captain Banning and I have come to help you rebuild Kennesaw Pass. You may not believe that, but it's the truth. It's up to us to prove it to you. We're here for the trial of one of your own people, Henry Calder. There's got to be a beginning someplace. The law is a good place to start.
Is that your idea of law, sir? You with a gun? Don't you really mean, sir, that this is a military trial? A Union Army trial? That the verdict will be yours, not ours.
It'll be your trial, your verdict. I give you my word. I want 12 men to serve on this jury. Men who will swear to give an honest judgment. Captain Banning, bring in the accused. have a list of men who held public office here before the war. Mr. Gareth Blackford,
Yes,
you know the duties of a juror?
I think so.
You think you could render a fair verdict in the case of Henry Calder?
Yes, sir. I think hanging's fair for Henry Calder.
That's what
Reverend Giles Cameron. Will you serve justly on this jury, sir?
I cannot.
Why, sir?
Come to the church. You can look high up into its rafters and see right through to the sky. Burned out by Sherman's drunken troops. A house of God.
George Randolph.
He doesn't deserve a trial.
Have you ever read the Constitution? Men from this state helped write it.
I think I can render a fair verdict in the case of Henry Calder. I know all of you pretty well. Know what you've been through. As a doctor, I know all the sickness that war breeds. But I just can't believe what I'm seeing here today. The law doesn't belong to a man or an army. It belongs to all of us. We turn our back on it now, we've lost more than a war. I say, let's try this man fairly. Now, who'll serve with me?
I'm grateful, sir.
Do you believe me now? Take my father to Fort Dalton. Tonight.
We found one man. There'll be others.
Can't you see it? They're a mob. They want to kill. What right have you to play God? I warn you, Major. My father's life is in your hands.
Come on, Calder.
Any sign of the jailer? Get our horses.
You killed him. Same as if you did it yourself.
Leave him.
For what?
It's not a woman's job. We'll give him a decent burial.
Will you? And will the troops at Fort Dalton fire a salute? Have them fire into this crowd. They wanted him dead.
We'll find the men who did this. I promise you, Miss Calder.
My father believed your promises. I won't make the same mistake.
This what you wanted, sir?
No.
Really?
No. Calder was hanged last night. We heard.
Know anything about it?
No. You're not clear of this, Blackford. Everybody heard you in court yesterday saying hanging was fair for Calder.
You accusing me?
A man's been murdered. We've got to find the people who did it, and we need your help.
Those two wrote against you. I'm not riding with you.
You'll never take this place. I'll kill you first.
Nobody's going to take your place.
My brother said different the night he died.
Yankee soldiers.
What's your name, son?
Jeb Bryant.
Did you hear any men riding hard by your place last night?
No.
Did you?
We didn't hear nothing.
Where's your father?
Gettysburg.
Is your mother here?
She's dead, too.
Looks deserted.
It's like the whole valley. People living all through there. Maybe even some of the lynchers.
Why not call out the troops from Dalton?
Can't live with a gun in their backs. Gotta give them a chance.
Won't take them long to find out who you are. How do you think they'll feel then?
Miss Ransom?
Yes?
I'm Major Drango. This is Captain Banning.
Yes, I know.
Henry Calder was hanged last night. The lynchers headed this way.
I've seen no one.
You've heard about Calder?
This is a small community, Major. Search the house if you like. I'm well aware of the ways of the Union Army. General Sherman's men were here for 5 days.
There'll be nothing like that again. Your father was in the legislature, wasn't he, Miss Ransom?
Yes.
Do you think he'd have hanged a man without a trial?
What do you think, Major?
He was a man of honor.
And you know a great deal about honor, don't you, Major?
Enough to respect it. Good day, Miss Ransom.
You don't have to worry anymore. They're gone.
Do you think they believed you?
They had a chance to search, didn't they?
The major didn't sound convinced. I'd like to know more about this man. Doesn't carry a gun, doesn't force himself in anywhere. People might start listening to him.
I say kill him now. Both of them.
Bring Union troops around here? I'll pick the place. First, I want every man in this territory riding with us. Luke, I want you to contact our people at Fort Dalton. Tell them I want to have a look at Drango's file any way they can get it.
Yes, sir.
Burke and Regan, I want you to go down on the street and keep a good lookout.
Right.
When does it stop, Clay?
There's nothing pleasant about a war. Never has been.
Drink? There's nothing too small to put in that book, is there, Clay? You put me there, too. How you use my home. How I lie for it.
Miss Ransom. Bullet went deep.
Near his heart?
Easy, Doc, easy. Lost a lot of blood. The bullet's still in there.
Did you ever take one out before? I'm a little particular who carves me up. Kate, bring me my whiskey. We can't use an anesthetic. Got to keep me conscious. I'll have to tell you what to do. Near the heart, but not as close as was intended, I expect. Saved us all through the war. Clean it with water first. Instrument on the end. Probe with that. That's it. That's it. It must be locked in there sideways. Take the probe out. Small forceps. Just take it slowly and try to pull the bullet away from the heart. And don't stop. No matter what I do. Hold me down if you have to. He'll be all right.
A man like Blair. What he means to this town. And they left him to die in the street.
Driver killed him.
Gareth Blackwood. I grew up with Gareth. We were in the same company all through the war. He was never a thief.
Or a lyncher?
Something terrible's happened to us. People turning against their own kind. Captain Banning's out gathering up the supplies. I'll go help him.
Thanks. Would you men carry the doctor inside, please?
You can clean up in there.
You all right?
You're never going to find the men who did this. They'll go on killing, lynching. And the people in this town will hide them, lie for them, anything.
Not Dr. Blair nor Randolph. It'll take time, but the people will change.
With speeches,
How would you have it? An eye for an eye?
yes.
I know. I guess you didn't hear me. I said whiskey.
Give me a bottle.
You should have been over to the courthouse tonight. You would have learned the truth about the major here. He had quite a record in the war. Not exactly the kind of record a man likes to talk about. How do you feel coming back here, Major? Proud of what you did to this country?
Get out, Reagan.
I've been waiting to see if you had fight in you. I'm not some hungry kid you can starve out.
Expected till morning.
Rode straight through, Bracken's orders. You were right, Clint. Time's run out. Stanton's policy is going to affect all through the South. Sending full troops in. Bracken's ordered to report to Dalton as soon as you get these.
You seen the doctor?
No.
Kate, I know who lynched your father.
Who?
Clay Allen. Finally came out in the open tonight.
When are you going to hang him?
Can't even arrest him.
Why?
Well, because
I'll kill him myself.
Kate.
Why do you just talk about justice? Why don't you do something about it?
You're no better than the rest of them. You don't want justice, you want revenge. It's blinded you to everything your father believed in, what you really believe in yourself.
And what is that?
This country, all of it. Kate, if we go undivided against ourselves, looking for revenge, people will go on suffering and dying. I want to see the burning and killing stop.
Does that mean that Clay Allen is to go unpunished?
No.
Then what are you talking about?
Right now, I can't touch him. He and all of Kennesaw would laugh at me if I tried. You see, they know something that you don't know. They learned it from Clay tonight. They know that near the end of the war, I had a special command, and like a good soldier, I followed my orders.
What are you saying?
From the Kennesaw Mountains to Atlanta, I was ordered to burn and destroy. My men rode through these streets, Kate. My men ravaged Kennesaw Pass, burned out the valley, and destroyed the crops.
Why did you come back?
Why? Do you know what it is to look into the faces of men and women, little children, knowing they're going to starve and die because of you? I wanted to give back the life I'd taken. All I've done is cause more hurt and more hatred. Now there's no more time to make it right. Bracken's ordered me to Dalton. He'll send troops in. Maybe that's the only thing they'll understand. Jane, you're the one I've hurt most of all. I need you most of all.
You've got to come back. You've got to.
Clint. Yeah? Just one thing. When we first started here, I didn't agree with what you were doing. I didn't believe in it. Kind of like you to know, no matter what happens, I believe in you now.
Thanks.
Don't let Bracken change anything.
Look out for yourself.
You too.
Shelby? Shelby? Shelby. Still drunk. I want you to write a letter.
Get out. Get out of my home.